Graphing exponential functions. So exponential functions can look something like this, or they can look something like this. So given something like y equals 4 to the x, I think the easiest way to do this is just to make an xy table. And then we'll be able to create a graph from it. So if we plug in 0 for x, 4 to the 0 power is 1. Plug in 1, 4 to the first is 4. Plug in 2, 4 squared, 16. If we plug in negative 1, we get 4 to the negative 1 is the same thing as 1 over 4. If we plug in negative 2, we get 4 to the negative 2, which is the same thing as 1 over 4 squared, or 1 over 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2. If we plug in 0, we got 1. 1, we got 4. 2, we got 16, which is somewhere up above here. Negative 1, we got 1/4. And they get smaller and smaller, so it does something like this. It's just going to get steeper and steeper and continue to go up very quickly. That's the neat thing about exponential functions, is they turn the corner and they take off. But this is another type we could have. So if x is 1, we get 1/10. If it's 0, anything to the 0 power is 1. If it's 2, we have 1/10 squared, which is 1/100th. If we go backwards, negative 1 is 1/10 to the negative 1, which is the same thing as 10 to the first. If we go negative 2, we have 1/10 to the negative 2, which is 10 squared, which is 100, because it flips the fraction when we have that negative in there. So with a fraction in an exponential, instead of a whole number that's bigger than 1, it actually will do that first graph we introduced. We introduced 2 graphs. So we've seen one of these when a number is bigger than 1. When a number is less than 1, it actually does the opposite effect. So what happens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 1 is 1/10, 0 is 1, negative 1 is 10, and so it's going to do something like this and turn that corner really, really fast. What if I had f of x equals 4 to the 2x minus 1? XY chart, plug in 0, 0 minus 1 is 4 to the negative 1, which is 1/4. Plug in 1, we get 4 to the first. Plug in 2, we get 4 to the third, which is 64. If we plug in negative 1, we get 4 to the negative 3, which is 1 over 64. So if we take our graph and we plot the points that we have, 0 is 1/4. So let's make this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 is 4. 2 is clear up at 64. Negative 1 is so small that this graph takes off very quickly. So my recommendation for exponential functions is to create an XY table.